For the highlights of round five, the penultimate round of the tournament, I'm going to show you three positions. One position is a endgame concept. The other one is a trick, a huge trick by a player, and the third one was the highlight of the round, the game on the top board between Nandita and Asmi. So here, as you can see, this is a position that those who study rook and games will have seen. Yeah, it's very normal for a pawn to reach till the end with the rook in front of the pawn. So white rook is behind. So black just wants to give a check, right, and promote. If white makes a silly move, black will just move the rook, and that's it. Game over. Black wins. So basically, white cannot allow that check. So white has to come to the second rank. But it's important to which square you come. In this game, Niranjan, without much thought, he thought for 6 seconds and he just played king f2. He made a losing move. Black just has rook h1. This is the idea that Niranjan did not know or did not remember. Now, if you take, then there is rook h2. And if you don't take, then promotes. So from here, there is no coming back, and Akash will not win the game. So the correct move would have been either king g2 or king h2. Black cannot move this rook, basically. The white rook is behind the pawn. So if black rook moves a rook, the pawn is gone. That's a draw. So white had a draw in his hand. He just had to stop and think for a while, which he did not. So you can see the times of both players. It was a 25 plus 10 game, but they end up with 27, more than 27 minutes each. So yeah, not a great show of thinking by Niranjan, and that's the punishment. Instead of drawing the game, it became a loss. Now the second game I'm going to show you is a little bit of trickery by Abhay. Abhay and Vihan when were playing on one of the boards, and here, if you see, it is equal. It is five. I'm sorry, it is 2 points up for black for Vihan, and here Abhay just played knight c7. So if somebody plays knight c7, what should we think? We should first see it's a free piece, and then we should think why is he giving me pieces? Did he blunder actually? So the second question Vihan did not ask himself. So the free piece in less than 8 seconds, he played in 7 seconds. He took it, and there goes the game. Checkmate. The h7 square is covered by the queen. So knight c7 was actually a nice move, which was threatening mate. Black had to stop it by g6 or what else? There's no other move. Maybe f6. But yeah, g6 is kind of the only move. If you just check with the engine. What? Oh, knight f4. How is knight f4 possible? What do you? Okay, knight f4. There is no defense. What? Why not g6? Okay, let me just get my bearings straight. So right now, after knight c7, it is black to play, and engine says black is completely winning. How is that? Oh, because the queen is covering it anyway. Okay. Now there is no rook here because queen can take. But yeah, knight f4 is very difficult to find. Can I just play g6? No. I have to play queen c5. Okay, both sides are attacking each other. So queen c5 is also there. But yeah, what is more important is Vihan did not look for a defense. He did not even see the threat. And he took it, and there was the game. Now comes the main highlight of the round. The game between Asmi and Nandita. So the game just exploded from this moment. It has all been a little quiet. I mean, both sides have developed and made small threats. And now, from here, right now, Asmi is white and her knight is attacked, right? So she made knight h2. I mean, she played knight e3 first in the previous move. Let me take you there. Yeah, she played knight e3. Queen came back, threatening a check on h2. Here, engine says knight f1 is better, but you play knight g4. So now Asmi can decide whether to repeat or not. She goes knight h2, showing her intention to win. Now knight h2, rook f6. This is where the drama started. So after rook f6 is bishop g5 winning. Those who play in 5 seconds every move will probably play bishop g5 fast without thinking. Bishop g5 is okay, but actually not okay. Bishop g5 is not really okay because it doesn't have a threat. The rook just moves. And now you basically helped your opponent get the rook to g6 with the bishop there pinned. You can't take, of course, which is then checkmate. So then what was the right move here for Asmi? She should probably have played bishop e3 or c3 maybe. Kick that knight away. What is the engine saying? Okay, bring the knight back, says the engine. Or play king h1 and get ready for the rook to come to g6. So she played bishop g5, rook g6, queen h5. So it's all normal moves. The bishop cannot move. Now h6 is not possible. That is the point of queen h5. Otherwise h6 would come. Knight takes c2. But then bishop, pawn g3, stopping the threat of the rook and the queen. Was there any other way she could have done it? Was there knight f3 maybe? Knight f3, still the bishop cannot move because knight f3 is fine, right? Let's see. Yeah, knight f3 was maybe better. g3 was weakening the position, but okay. g3, knight takes, bishop takes, still equal. Bishop g3. Nandita unleashes a sacrifice. So the point is, if you take back, then rook takes g3 and there is no defense. If you take, then game is over. Sorry. Rook takes and king has to come where? Here, but queen g2 is mate. Yeah. So you can't take that bishop. But Asmi stays calm here and looks for the continuation. She plays rook check. King moves. And now another check. King moves. Now can we take? She takes now. Now the difference is rook takes, king moves. Queen g2 is not mate. This is very difficult to find. Kudos to Asmi for finding such a defense. Just getting rid of that e1 rook and then making square for the king. That was probably the only difference. But black is way better here. Rook check. Oh, even this here. Nandita found a very nice way to continue. This is a brilliant move. Rook e3. Such a nice move. Absolutely difficult move to find on the board. On the board, what would black usually try to do? You could try to capture. You can't capture. Okay, maybe if you see that there is a huge threat, we might not. Maybe I would first consider g6 first of all, but then queen h7 comes. So, rook e3 such a hard move to find. Rook e3 was found. The point is, after rook takes knight c2, you get back the piece with the check, and white has only one square. If he goes here, then checkmate. So Asmi has to come back again. Oh, I thought she could give a check again and drag your opponent a little bit just to show I'm in control. But she directly goes for the knight. The win here after taking the knight, it becomes still winning. Queen takes. Okay, queen g3 was losing. So here the win is there. It's that knight c2, king moves, and then just go knight d4. How will you stop the mate? Oh, you have a way. Queen 7, queen h5. Maybe before then, instead of playing queen takes knight, yeah, here knight c2, king moves, and knight d4. Again, it's very difficult to find. I mean, they played so well so far. There was just this one move, knight d4. Knight d3 it shows is winning, but I'll come back to knight d4. Knight d4, and now white is the one who's totally lost. Yeah, Asmi is lost here because bishop e7 is the only move that gives up a piece and then start giving checks. But yeah, it's difficult to find that. What happened was queen takes, queen check, king moves, f4. f4, material wise, it is just one pawn down for Asmi. Queen check, Asmi gives a check. Nandita brings a king over. Queen check again, queen g6. This was a exchange offer by Nandita, which Asmi takes. Yeah, and you can see she's in huge time trouble. That I forgot to mention. Lot of these moves were played in huge time trouble. You can imagine how she got into time because the position was difficult. So here, most of the moves from here are played within 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. And it's so hard to find moves there. She takes, and she takes back. So it's basically an equal endgame, a bishop versus knight. First impression that I had was white is better because white has the bishop against the knight, but black's pass pawn is much more advanced and black's king is more active. So black is better. King moves, g5. The pawn is even connected. Yeah. And here bishop back. That I don't really understand. Just forcing the pawn to come forward, which anyway the pawn wants. Oh, but it's the best move by the engine. Okay, bishop b8, a6, bishop a7. Okay, she wanted to get the bishop to this diagonal. All right. Pawn push. So Asmi is going for her own push. Pawn. Knight check. Now many people who are watching the game thought king here would be good. That would actually, yeah, no. Actually, Han was going to mention knight c4 wins a pawn, isn't it? But knight c4, I don't know. D5, you can't take. Oh wait, not D5. What was I thinking? B5. Sorry, what am I saying? Knight c2. Instead of going back, knight c4. No, nothing. Sorry. So after knight c4 pushes, no, knight c4 pushes won't happen. So she played after knight c2 here. She played knight e4. Knight c4 would have definitely won a pawn, right? What is the defense here? D5? What? Why can't I just take? D6. Okay, the pawn is becoming dangerous. King e6. Bishop b6. Bishop e6. Giving up that pawn. King takes d6. Oh, to get this pawn. Okay. That's the engine's point. Again, it's a very difficult line. Let's go back. She didn't play knight c4. Knight c4 would have been a great attempt to win. Should have won the game if she played knight c4. Not that difficult to see that the pawn cannot be defended, right? If the b pawn moves, 8 pawn hands. Anyway, she went knight e4. King also, she had a lot of time to think about it, which she didn't use. Again, you have the chance of playing knight c4. But knight e4 was played. King again back. So basically, Asmi is okay with the draw now. But Nandita says, I want to go for a win. Pawn d5. Aspi is getting a pawn forward. But here, what if king e5? That's what I was saying. King e5, king g4 maybe. Yeah, king g4 or d6 and then bishop f2. Okay. But I was surprised that she didn't play king e5. Okay, knight back. Bishop b8, helping the pawn forward. Now pawn forward. b5, b4, knight back. Knight has to go to d7, otherwise it'll be dangerous. Bishop a7. And here they repeated. Okay, no. Here Nandita had king e4, I guess. No. Okay. Oh, there was a win here. Knight f7. That's a nice win. And if you push, then king, you win the pawn. So that is difficult to see. It's a retreating move. But yeah, if you study in games like this, you should be able to see this. But yeah, but at least king g4. She wanted to clarify things and get the king in, right? But the problem is, once you do that, you just have a pawn to play with, and your connected pawns are gone. King is stuck defending. King f2, and here they just repeated moves because both sides could not figure out a way to go forward. If I were white, I don't have a way because the pawn is on a dark square. It's blockaded very well by the knight. My king is stuck here. So that was a huge result for the tournament because after 5 rounds, we just have one person on 4.5, and there's a pack of 5 people chasing her, and there is Kavya on 3.5 as well. So there are 7 people who could be the champion. No one else can catch her, but yeah, there's a lot of prizes at stake. So let's see how the last round